Tamseng from TDS Instructional. In this lesson, let's discuss about Dynamo user interface, more about the graph, and take a look at the lease element, which is going to be one of the elements of the 80 in the 80-20 rule. Let's open the Hello World script from the previous lesson. I'd like to bring to your attention to the option to open at manual execution mode. I like to open a script in manual execution mode to avoid the script freezing because it's waiting for us for an input or doing a long extraction process. Perhaps it is a script that we downloaded and we are opening for the first time. In the execution bar, the mode is set to manual with a run button besides it. Let me change it back to automatic for this little script. Let's create two new nodes, a string node and another line node. You will notice that the header of the new line node is gray rather than the dark color in the other nodes. This means that this node is inactive and it has no input connected, and the node will not be executed. Let's connect the input. And you can see that the node header turns dark. Let's create a troublemaker, a string node. Let's give this node a value 12. We connect the string node to the endpoint of the line. You can see the line node is now orange. This means it has encountered an error or warning executing the node. And you can check the details above the node. The message is normally not very clear, but you will get used to it. Let's select a node. Your current node will have a blue border and all the connecting wires are also in blue. Sometimes you may want to stop the execution of certain node. You can do this by freezing the node. You can see as I move the slider, only one of the lines get updated now. When you are working in Dynamo, as you build your graph, you may abstract the graphical view. You can select the graphical view. In the graphical view mode, you can manipulate the view with the mouse buttons. Let's return to the graph view. Let's inspect the nodes in more details. When you hover over the node header, you can see a description of the node and also implementation information on the node. This information is useful for advanced user. By double-clicking the header, you can change the header text with more informative text. As you hover over the input, you can see what is the data expected. Double means double precision, which to us means numbers with decimal point. Right below, you can see the output of the node. You need to hover over the gray area in the node to display this. You can pin and inspect this information. There is the word auto at the lower left of the node. This is the leasing mode. We will talk about this in later lessons after we discuss about lease. Let's start a new graph to discuss about lease. Lease is one of the significant library in Dynamo. Lease is a list of items, number, lines, etc. Let's create some list to show you what it is. With the list create node, you can add or remove the input by using the plus and minus sign. I'm going to create a list of 3 tags. Instead of using the string node that I used before, I'm going to use the code block. The code block node is found in the script library. You can also create this node by double-clicking in the workspace. I input the text into the code block node. Text or string needs to be within 2 double quotes. The semicolon will separate the output. Once we finish typing, we click outside the node. The output from the code block is set. I've forgotten the double quotes in the middle string. Let's correct it. Now let's wire up the code block and the list create node. A list of 3 pieces of text is now created. Let's use the list sequence to create a list. The list sequence needs the start element, can be a number or character like A, B, C, the number of elements in the list, and lastly, the gap between the elements. Based on the default values of start number 0, 10 elements, and step of 1, a list of values 0 to 9 is created. Let's insert a new character A to the code block. We wired this output to the start of list sequence node. The list shows values of A to J now. Next, we will use the range method of creating a list. In the range node, instead of number of elements in the list, you will give the node the end value of the lease. Let's create another character to our string code block. We create another code block, and this time we create two numbers 2 and 5 for this new code block. Let's wire the number code block to the range nodes. This time you can see that it has created a list of numbers from 2 to 5. When you change the number at the end of the range, you can see that the number of elements will change. It is possible to create a multi-dimension list. You use a list create node and wire the output of the previous list to this node. A list of lists is created. This is a good point to end this lesson. Please let me know if this amount of information per lesson is too little or just enough. Please vote and see you again soon. Bye.